Why is it that many iconic video games go hand in hand with iconic soundtracks? The sound is important, and really any idiot could tell you that. Hey, what the? It doesn't take a genius level intellect to figure out that sound design is an important part of many forms of media. Movies, video games, even YouTube videos. But it's also probably the easiest to half-ass. Even though it's AV, where audio makes up 50% of the equation, a lousy creator might treat it more like an afterthought, maybe 5%. Or even less. And it's not entirely their fault.
It's the underdog element, the one most often taken for granted.
Especially for those who just consume media for what it is, rather than pulling back the hood and trying to figure out what makes the great so great. When sound is done well, it goes seamlessly hand in hand with other elements, such as visuals. Like a well-done seasoning, it's not meant to single-handedly grab your attention and overpower the meat of the dish.
There is nothing wrong with letting the flavor of steak speak for itself.
It should complement what's already going on, enhancing the overall experience and immersion. Music by itself carries emotional context, and certain keys, chords, instruments, and compositional elements can sound like nostalgia, melancholy, mystery, sadness, or even adventure. Due to the emotional weight that music carries in itself, it can serve as the perfect tool to emphasize your visuals and the underlying subtext. You can tell an entire story without saying a word.
Music is powerful, man. It speaks to a primal pit in our brains.
Jake's right. A good song can really wrap people up in a mood, better than any words alone could.
But because of this power, getting your music right becomes paramount. Choose the wrong instruments and all of a sudden...
Sarah?
You were supposed to be making your audience cry, but you made them poop instead. You've created dissonance, pulling your audience out of their immersion and thrusting them back into the shitty reality of their unfulfilling corporate job, completely ruining their experience. And now you feel like a bad person. It doesn't help that as an abstract art form, music doesn't contain concrete rules. You're meant to fumble around and try things until it feels right, hoping that everyone else feels the same way. What the fuck does that mean though? Take this snow-covered village. By itself, it can't tell you much besides the obvious. It's cold, people live here. Let's try our own hand here. Using our limited musical skills, we choose an airy and light synth, and we begin to place down the world's simplest chord progression. This is boring, so let's move some notes around. This sounds good, and we even have both a C and C sharp playing together here, creating a bit of tension. This doesn't sound sad, it sounds happy, hopeful, but with that underlying bit of tension. That was on purpose, of course. Now let's do some bells. Bells give cold yet cozy village vibes, and just by playing around with the same notes we used in our chord progression, we get this cheerful little jingle just lightly dancing across the chords. And we can keep building, testing different instruments. No, not the sitar or the didgeridoo. Come on, guys. We're really just feeling around, trying new ideas, melodies, instruments, while sticking to what sounds right to us. And all of a sudden, we've built up this atmosphere. The track feels like the town's hope, their gentle happiness, their friendly warmth, without saying a word. Ultimately, this town is here to make you feel a certain way, to serve some purpose along the protagonist's and your own emotional journey. And we've used music to enhance that, ideally immersing you into the environment, invoking emotions that make it feel real and serve the narrative. A little town that braves the harsh cold, staying together and smiling despite their challenges. It reminds me of Snowden Town. Come back during a genocide run, and that same environment has starkly changed. A lot of the visuals, aesthetics, colors are completely untouched, but the change in music recontextualizes all of it. You could argue that sound is more important than the visuals here in delivering intended feelings to the player. Undertale is severely limited in its visual expression. There's no fancy mocap. Your character makes this face the entire game. What is this emotion? So how do you make the player immersed in your game when everything they're meant to feel is communicated through text boxes? This game would not be able to deliver a fraction of its emotional impact without its soundtrack. Music is ingrained in every aspect of this game, every environment, every story beat, even the characters. I bet he has some great normal fan art. Just like you can capture the essence of an environment through music, if done just right. If done just right, you can encapsulate the entire essence of a character into their musical motifs. And then we have this fucking thing, a weird, shapeless being of pure evil, with the track just as alien and unnerving to match. So we can make you feel a place, and we can make you feel a character through music. What if we go bigger, grander? Some games are monumentally popular, yet their story and progression isn't fixed to any sequence of events or narrative structure. It's a sandbox where the player dictates their own experience. The task then becomes not to just define a story beat or specific character, but to encapsulate the entire thematic essence of your video game in the soundtrack. And to do that, you not only have to understand what it is your game means, but you also then have to figure out what that sounds like. So where do we begin? Well, first we have to define what your game means. Is it beauty, serenity, nostalgia, timelessness, simplicity, emergence, introspection, awareness perhaps? Well,